Hey guys, this is Alex from Trademate Sports and welcome to video 9 in our series of people who got rich from sports betting. Today I'll be talking about a man named Bill Benter, who is a guru when it comes to betting on horse racing. In the mid-1980s, Benter produced an algorithm to beat Hong Kong horse racing, and over 30 years later, he had amassed nearly $1 billion US. For a sport which can produce hundreds of thousands of variables per race. From what a horse ate for breakfast to jockeys falling off, his success is phenomenal. But before I get into Bill Benter's life story, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you get a notification every time we post a video like this.
It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
At the age of 22, after spending years traveling throughout Europe and Africa, Benter quit university and moved to Vegas. He had recently read Beat the Dealer by Edward Thorpe, the card counter who we covered earlier in our series. Bill was your typical mathematics nerd, and Thorpe's book captured his imagination, leading to a lot of time at the casino. Soon after moving to Vegas and applying for a night cleaner's job at McDonald's, Benter was approached by an Australian named Alan Woods, who was the leader of a card counting team, and we've also covered him earlier in the series. To convince Benter that joining his team was the right move, Woods told him stories like when he got past Manila airport security with $10,000 in his underwear. 6 weeks later, he was working for Woods, making roughly $80,000 a year, counting cards. This came to an abrupt end in 1984, after years of successful card counting, when Woods, his co-workers and Benter himself were blacklisted from a range of casinos in Vegas. There was even a scenario where Benter was ushered to the back of a casino and intimidated by a few security guards. Their notoriety around Vegas meant their time in the desert was over. But little did Benter know that this was the start of something very promising. With a bit more time on his hands now, Benter's next venture was horse racing. Going to gamblers' book clubs in Vegas and buying just about every book he could find on the sport. At this time, Hong Kong racing was bigger than ever. The population of Hong Kong bet a total of $10 billion every year on horse racing, with a population of only 5.5 million. After 9 months of studying horse racing and advanced statistics from academic papers to betting systems, Woods and Benter moved to Hong Kong. But they lost $120,000 in their first year, leading to a dispute between the pair regarding ownership. Woods had more money than Benter and wanted 90% of the business. But obviously, Benter wanted a lot more than that, so the two went their separate ways. After going back to card counting to build his bankroll up once again, in 1988 Bill made his return to Hong Kong, having created an algorithm with 20 horse racing variables, which would spit out what he believed were the true odds of a horse winning. In other words, if a bookmaker had a horse's odds at let's say 3.5 and Benter's model had the true odds of that horse at 2.8, he would bet on that edge. Pretty similar to how the Trademate Sports value betting software works. After his first year back in Hong Kong, Benter had won $600,000, which he put down to adding in the variable of rest days between races for horses. But that wasn't his greatest innovation. Bill believes the greatest change to his model was made in 1990, when the Hong Kong Jockey Club made their betting odds publicly available. Instead of before where he made his own odds from scratch, he used the Hong Kong Jockey Club's odds as a starting point and further refined them with his algorithm. The next year, he made $3 million. Skip to 1997 and Benter's team endured a huge winning season, profiting over $50 million. But unfortunately that resulted in him losing his rights to bet through computers and phones. Bill then formulated a new strategy, getting a heap of betting slips, designing a printing system that would turn those blank slips into betting slips with the relevant boxes marked, and then running to a betting terminal to feed his tickets into. His new system ran into the 21st century, By now, his algorithm accounted for over 120 variables per horse, but logistically, his new system was a true grind. So in 2001, he had one final bet on the Triple Trio, which is picking the first 3 horses in 3 different races, and he decided that if he won, he would leave the ticket unclaimed. Now if you do that, the club's policy was that they would donate the money to a certain charity. And of course, Benter's bet won, leaving $118 million on the table unclaimed in Hong Kong. It's been over 3 decades since Benter arrived in Hong Kong, but he still bets on all horses around the world and is still amazed he wins. His algorithm is always being tinkered with, the latest adjustment accounting for how much a horse's performance changes with a new trainer. Now if you want to implement some of the strategies that Benter used into your sports betting, like taking value from the bookmakers and betting on those bigger odds, then try out the Trademate Sports Value Betting software. I know it won't make you $1 billion, but will for sure help you beat the bookmakers. And that completes our video on Bill Benter. Make sure once again that you like this video, subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you get a notification every time we post a video like this. Cheers.